What's good? Welcome back to Mom Made Radio. This your boy King John. Tune in. But before we do that, a word from our sponsors. Welcome to Mom Made Radio. This is your boy King John, and I'm in here with a few people that are going to help me have this conversation about why can't we all agree on love. I wanted to talk about the outline, and the outline today in this podcast is we're going to be talking about how people are liars. That's the first segment, and we're going to be talking about in that segment people want to manipulate. It's only love until you got to return it, and lust is what they have. And then the second segment is going to be about horny people, and we're going to talk about sex is not making love, filio or lust, and then we're going to talk about not agape. What's not agape? And then the third segment, last segment, we're going to be talking about they don't believe in God. And we're going to talk about they can't love if they are atheists. We're going to talk about love is of God, and love is God, and we're going to be talking about why is love hard. That's what we're going to be tapping into. So for everybody in the room right now, I want to start off by asking y'all a quick question. What do y'all feel like love is as we start off? Like, what is love in y'all opinion? We can start with Sister Look, and we can go to Scatter, Marco, and Brother.
I think love in general is like a full embodiment of acceptance of yourself, of other people, and of God. The source of love is from God, and it's just like unconditional love, unconditional energy of this unconditional acceptance and positivity, and just embracing everything about a particular person or yourself. Yeah.
Okay, brother.
She pretty much, said it all, unconditional. Man, the love of God. God is love. You know what I'm saying? There's so much that falls up under it, but that's like the main thing. Unconditional. God is love.
100. Okay, Marco, what about you?
Yeah, I think love is a complex, multifaceted emotion. At its core is deep feelings of affection and connection towards another person or entity, if you will, often accompanied by feelings of tenderness and care. It can take many forms, often characterized by a desire to support and nurture and protect the object of your affection. So, um, you have a willingness to prioritize that well-being over your own. That's pretty much it.
Okay, so I like that. This is my thing. So the first part of the podcast, we're going to be talking about people are liars. Um, the reason why this is the first part of it is because people, if people are really not truly loving, then they're lying. You know what I'm saying? So if a person recognizes that they're not, that the way that they believe love is not really love, they will get upset and get irritated and want to go against it, because that means that they have been lying to themselves and lying to other people for so long, and some people don't want to accept it because they have to realize that they're not as good of a person as they thought they were, because people want to be good people. You know what I'm saying? And people are liars. Like, you shouldn't have to want to be a good person. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's, you're supposed to, and the Bible says there is none good but God, number one. So it's not about trying to be a good person. It's trying to be the best that you can be. And sometimes people might not understand what you have to do to be the best that you can be in whatever moment that you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? But it's in God's will for everything to work out for the good of those who love God and called according to their purpose. So that's just what that is. So the first part of it is people want to manipulate. Manipulation is not a bad thing when you're using it for righteousness, because what manipulation is getting someone to adopt a certain viewpoint and thought process that is somewhat based on what you want them to see and perceive. It's something like emotional projection, which we was talking about in the last room. Emotional projection being where somebody take their personal feelings about a situation and what they're observing and recognizing from something and project that feeling onto the entire situation, like that's the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like if I am arguing with someone about something that they if somebody's telling me a story about themselves and they say, hey, um yeah, I actually went to the store and I bought me some food, and it was, some chicken and some steaks and some beef and stuff like this. And, you know, I say, well, well, that's crazy. You just hate animals, huh? And that's just crazy. You would just kill some animals, and animals didn't do anything to you. And that's just like, that's emotional projection, because in reality that person is not looking at it like that at all, because they not the ones that's going out to try to kill that animal, and they don't really probably want to kill animals. They just happen to just be used to eating this food, and this is what they're used to, and they're not even looking at it like a bad thing or whatever. So in their mind, yes, the situation is what it is, but it's not in the kind of intentions that the person is projecting onto the situation.
I think yeah, like to contribute. Self-awareness is key when it comes to like self-projection. Like I think we've had a discussion, yeah, recently we spoke about not allowing people to dictate your life. And I spent like most of my life, allowing people to dictate my life. And a lot of people, well, I was living in the energy of projection. Like everyone, I seem to attracted people who, always project. And I was just living in that energy. And it got to the point where I just crashed and burned. And then I had to spend a lot of time um, finding out who I was, and that self-awareness, learning about who I am, and hear like my inner voice had to get so loud that I could now fend off this projection. But I think it's more serious than what projection is a really big thing. It influences your mind, it influences your decisions. And sometimes, I had to ask myself, like, is this my voice, or where's it coming from? So I think the crisis that I'm in now, I would say, is throwing up a guard quickly enough um, to block spiritual projection, because spiritual projection can happen without you even meeting the person. So it's just, hearing your inner voice and just being aware of who you are, knowing yourself, and knowing, like, is this my voice? Are these my authentic feelings, or is it an external feeling being projected onto me? So yeah, I land my plane.
Understood. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's emotional projection. Every time a person takes what they're feeling and put it onto somebody else. Same thing when somebody hurt themselves. You know what I'm saying? I will never forget this. Right, I was playing basketball. I wasn't even playing basketball at the time. I was on the sideline waiting till the next game. The game was over, and I was going. I was just watching people play. But when they was down on the other side of the court, I went on the court, right, and I tried to run really fast, and I tried to grab the rim because I was like 16, something like that, and I couldn't dunk yet, but I was like able to grab the rim. So I was like, let me go ahead, and I ran, tried to grab the rim. I grabbed the rim, but I was running so fast that my body like flew up, and I was like, you know what I'm saying, my body was like, horizontal in the air, and I was like, just my body was just like boom straight down to the ground, and it hurt it. It hurt. I ain't gonna say it hurt it. It hurt. It hurt bad. But look, this is the messed up part about it, right? It hurt so bad, but I didn't really pay attention to the pain because I was embarrassed so much, and it was females around. One of my older cousins was there. I was like, I got up so fast. I got up so fast, and I started walking like I had a little bit of what I'm saying, something in me, but I got up so fast. So what that means is this: it means that majority of the pain is mental. And yes, I probably needed to like kind of no matter what, I was gonna have to recuperate regardless. You know what I'm saying? But I had the power to still get up and walk and move. And if I didn't have the motivation of the embarrassment that I was around, it wouldn't have went the way it was supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have probably stayed laying down, aching and pain. Maybe whatever happened in my back maybe would have been worse because I would have been not moving and stressing and whatever. Whatever the case may be, it wouldn't have worked out like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say, when people emotionally project their personal feelings, even on yourself, if you emotionally project your own personal feelings on how you think something's supposed to be, it can hinder you from being as strong or powerful in something that you really are. You know what I'm saying? So that's a real thing. DJ, welcome to the room. This is a podcast, so this room is being recorded. So if you don't want to speak, your sister, just move yourself down, and then we'll move forward. But if you want to be part of the conversation, this is a podcast, so you are welcome. The only rules in the room is that don't cut me off when I'm speaking, and keep your responses, comments, questions to 2 minutes. And the topic that we're speaking on today is this is going to be on Spotify and stuff like that. So and I'm gonna post a link to the last episode as well that we did yesterday. Why can't we all agree on love? Um, that's what we're talking about. And currently, we're speaking about people being liars and people who manipulate, and they project their personal feelings onto you. So as we get back into what this is, um, love is something that everybody had their own understandings on and feelings on, but that's wrong, because we know that love is universal and everybody is not a whole bunch of different ways of loving. There's only one way of love, and we all recognize what love is. Everybody can recognize what love is because it's something that we all like notice, and it makes us feel loved, and we start feeling stuff from it. But at the same time, when we notice what it is, we have to recognize that it's not something that's um what you call it, based on emotions and feelings, even though it does make us feel some type of way sometimes when we notice it, or when we feeling it, or when we feel a lack of it. But when we have the love is the patience, the understanding, the care, correction, long suffering, faithfulness, and loyalty that a person has for you, or that you have for a person or yourself. That's what love is.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Mind Made Radio? I see you doing your thing out here. Got your podcast going. What's up, Look Scatter? What's up, Marco? How you doing? I'm gonna just say this, right? Why we can't all agree on love is because, and this is a little bit contrary to what you said. Everybody doesn't know what love is. Everybody didn't come from a place of love, and even in a big age, they still don't recognize what love really is or what it feels like. That's why you have so many people being manipulated, lied to, fooled, believing people love them when they really don't. Because some people is coming from a place of survival and hate, and they're not being raised in love. So I think that's the real reason, and I think that kind of ties in full spectrum to what you were saying.
You're right. People are just lying to each other about what love is, and they're confused, and they don't treat each other with true love. The problem though is that people, again, they, like, for example, when I say these 7 concepts about love, um, I want to just try this. Y'all don't have to, but I want to see if somebody can, right? And preferably DJ if she got one. But when I mention that, if I say that love is patience, understanding, care, correction, long suffering, faithfulness, and loyalty simultaneously at all times. Can y'all name one thing that we would need to love a person that's outside of those 7 concepts? That we, what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Just one thing that's outside of those 7 things that we need to love.
I would say reciprocation, and I will say non-judgmentality as well. Yeah.
Okay, so now, even with that being said, right? Um, and it's fine because it's like it's an understanding of that those things are how you feel about love. And but if we look at this, right, the first thing you said was what was the first thing that you said was
Reciprocation.
Yeah, reciprocation. Basically, somebody treating, like treating somebody how you want to be treated, which is the overall understanding of love. But that's included in the seven concepts I named if you think about what caring about somebody truly means. So to care about someone, you have to care about the things that they like, the things that they don't like, the things that make them mad, happy, sad, glad, all those things, and you have to cater to those needs if you care about that person, and be patient and understanding with that person,
Nah,
and
but
that's reciprocal.
Karen is more like, because I can care for you, but you might not care for me.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
You understand?
But love, that's what I'm saying. Love has nothing to do with how somebody else treats you. Love is about you. Now we know that people don't love, so that's why it's hard for us to love because it's a lot of people in this world that don't love, and we tend to want to treat people the way that we get treated. But we're supposed to still love and be embodying love at all times, whether other people are or not. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so reciprocation is you doing your part, and if a person loves you back, then they will reciprocate it. But you can't force a person to give you back what you're giving. So you can still love a person even if they're not loving you back, if that makes sense.
So you're saying it's all down to what's in your heart, what you carry in your heart.
Yes, and the more you learn how to love yourself, the less you allow certain people around you that's not worth the love that you have. Because a lot of times people will feed off the love that you have in yourself and with you that you give off and project, and you, if you don't notice that that's what's going on, then you will end up like allowing the person to take advantage of that. That's just what happens sometimes, and we just have to be aware of where our mistakes are at, and that we do that by practicing the patience, understanding, and care, correction, and long suffering, faithfulness, and loyalty to ourselves that we should. You know what I'm saying? So if a person, then we meet a person and that person is not doing any of those seven things, we then know how to identify it because we are used to giving ourselves these things. So we know what it looks like for somebody else to give us these things as well. So we can notice if someone else is not giving us those things too. So and because we know how to give it to ourselves, we know how to give it to someone else as well. So as long as we doing our part, then the other person should do their part. And if they don't do their part, then you're supposed to communicate that and things like that, and try to help these people understand what they're doing wrong. But if they don't want to then at that point learn to love you back, then that's when you're supposed to separate yourself from that person.
So that goes back to self-awareness then, and kind of like tuning into yourself more, and strengthening your inner voice and being aware of who you are, being aware of what you're contributing and the energy that you're carrying and generating, and what you want to be surrounded by. So when your voice is loud enough, when your energy of love is loud enough, you'll be able to recognize when someone comes into your magnetic field without that energy. If they're coming in with like a low frequency energy of like, whatever it could be, fear, because it's either love or fear. So they come to your life with fear. You can quickly eliminate that, or even just recognize it and address it accordingly, because it's not the energy that you're embodying, like you're carrying, and what you're about. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you basically just got to make sure that you are not lying to yourself. That's the part that we on right now in the podcast. Is like not lying and embodying it for yourself. And if something like, because a lot of times people be lying, they act like they're loving for real when they're not really being as patient, understanding, and caring as they actually need to be, or corrective. Correction is one of the most important parts, and one of the least um actual, like, use concepts of love. People don't correct people like they're supposed to. They're scared that they're gonna hurt the person's feelings, or the person is gonna take it wrong, or like the person's gonna be like whatever, you know what I'm saying? And that's hurting the person more by not correcting them and helping them. And that's not love. It's a lack of love that actually causes that. So it's a lot of people that don't realize what's happening right now, and what's happening is the growth that we all have to go through individually, which is learning how to love ourselves, and then we can actually give it to somebody else. Because we if we start dealing with people and then we're not able to be as patient with them as we want to be or need to be, then and you know what I'm saying, they're also not loving like they're supposed to, we have to be able to correct each other. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't know how to correct each other, or what correction is, then we how can we help each other? So somebody got to be learning this. Somebody got to be actually practicing this outside of just the relationship with themselves, with other people that they meet. And when if I learn how to love everybody around me, I definitely would learn how to love the person that's going to be part of my life every day. These are strangers. So I don't have no ties to these people. So when they make me mad, if I learn how to love them while they make me mad, then I should definitely learn how to, I can do the same thing with my own person. So that's the process that we on right now. But
Are we
go
still
ahead.
answering? Are we still answering?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why
You got it.
can't we all agree on love? Okay. Sometimes it's words. Well, it's all the time words. Words have a funny way of controlling us. So, if somebody say something, you know, and they could just hear it, you might not even be talking to them. They might just hear you say it, and it may pertain to them, and they'll take that so serious that they could be maybe loving somebody, or they could be doing something in a loving way to somebody. But because somebody said something that was the opposite of that, they got something in their head telling them like, "Wow, dang, am I right, or should I do it the way they saying it?" You know what I'm saying? Words mess us up, and the youth is so messed up behind words. They just go with the flow because nobody is telling them love, showing them love. So as soon as they come outside out the house, they battling hate and everything up under hate, lies, like you said. I could put trust up under that because trust, it don't even get used. It it only get used in a negative way. When you think about trust, it's like, do you trust me? Well, you shouldn't even be asking me that. That's crazy. But we just get turned off by words, man. Our society.
No, that's facts. That's definitely facts. Check out this quick message from Dr. Miles Monroe.
Teaching his family the word of God. If you notice the last line, he says, if he does teach his family, then the promise that I gave will come on him. That's a relationship. That means God is holding up some fathers' blessings because the fathers are not loving the kids enough to teach them the word. When I say love kids, I think people think of loving as buying clothes and providing food for them and giving them a shelter over their heads. That is not love. That is expected. That's your natural and normal duty. Love has very little to do with buying food. Anyone with common sense and a little bit of conscience would buy food. There are fathers who buy food for their kids but don't go see them. There are fathers who pay the rent but don't go visit. There are fathers who buy Christmas gifts but send them with somebody else. Buying these things doesn't mean you love your kid. It means you feel guilty. Love is not buying gifts. Love is you becoming one. The Bible says, for God so loved the world that he became the revelation of that love. We call him Father. And so if a man is really your father, he don't send gifts. He sends himself. That's the true gift of love. That's the essence of love. I think in our day, we see the courts are filled with people making arrangements to send gifts, to send support. That's not love. That's what you call guilt complexes. Responsibility coming on you. Most men don't even want that. They don't even pay what they're supposed to. The court's got to run them down. Why? Because they don't love the children. The duty, the responsibility from God is for us to love the children. And you don't love them by sending them. You love them by sending yourself. I say to you, if you're not a father yet, think twice. If If you can't give them yourself, then don't reproduce them. Love your children. Love also means that you correct, that you chastise or chasten, or you reprove, or you rebuke. You know, some children are begging to be corrected, and the fathers ain't got no sense to realize it. There are children who hate their fathers because their father let them do whatever they want. And some fathers think that's cool. Oh, my boy, he's old enough to handle it. And the boy's saying, I need help, Daddy. I don't know the right values in life. I don't have standards to judge by. I'm looking to you to give me some guidelines. And you're telling me, oh, you're old enough. You're man now. The children are looking to the father to give them some kind of standards to judge their own decisions by.
Thank you for tuning in to this message from Dr. Miles Monroe. It's only love until you got to return it. So, for example, if we can come to the understanding on love being patience, understanding, care, caring, correction, long suffering, faithfulness, and loyalty, then we all can agree that we want that from a person. We all want a person to be those things for us. Like nobody's gonna deny that that's the case. It's just that liars, again, the people that we were just talking about, they will act like they don't need those things to try to dismiss what love truly is. And when they try to dismiss those things of what love really is, then they end up making it seem as though um, they can convince other people that that's not what love is either. And they can lie about how good their relationship is, and they can try to project the things that they feel about their relationship. You know what I'm saying? And people are good at being delusional. That's just what it is. People are good at looking at the good in things, you know what I'm saying? Even though there's a whole bunch of bad in it, and the other person in your relationship is stuck in the bad in it, and you're just in the good. That's not a relationship. That's bad. That, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people find themselves in those positions because they are with people who do not know what love is. Love is the patience, the ability to actually recognize, like, hey, you know what? This person right here needs me to relax a little bit because they just irritated me a lot. Matter of fact, not just that. This person today, you know, her hair was down, and I ain't gonna lie, she bald headed in the mug. I didn't even realize she was that bald head. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that can grow. I'll be patient. I know this is a time thing, whatever. Just anything like that. That's also patience. Patience is not just not getting mad or upset. Patience is being able to recognize that certain things is going on with a person and they're developing who they go be. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen them movies where the person, like for example, Think Like a Man, the Medea play, when that play came out and how I'm crying. I forgot her name though, but old girl that was the big girl, and then her man was basically uh, talking down on her, treating her bad and stuff like that because she was big, and he was telling her to work out and stuff like this, and then he made her walk to the place and stuff, a whole bunch of stuff, and he left her, cheated on her, all this stuff, left her, and got a divorce and all this, and she ended up like getting her life there. She started working out. She started eating healthy. She met her dude that made her happy, so she was getting good energy. You know what I'm saying? She was fixing herself up. She was already not ugly, you know what I'm saying? And then she ended up basically, turning into a whole new woman. She was born again, you know what I'm saying? In a sense, you know what I'm saying? And she became this woman that she was supposed to be. And this woman was the type of woman that this man was attracted to, but he wasn't patient enough to understand the process that she had to go through because he did not understand her, which is the next part of love. He didn't have understanding that this is not her. Who she is who you married, because he married her for some reason. And so there's a lot of misunderstandings when it comes to love, and people just ignore it because they don't want to give the same thing that they want. They want somebody to be patient with them, but they don't want to get that same patience, which is sad. So, y'all want to say something to that? My bad. I know I'm just talking.
Yeah, I'm thinking like in regards to this woman's transformation, so which version of her is really her? Like, if she's like being this woman who she's now born again, yeah. Is that really her? Is that her living her best life, being her best self? but then, you know, she can't discard, because I think when you love yourself, you have to love your highs and your lows. So I'm kind of interested in like who she, you know, why was she overweight in the first place, and you know, why was, you know, what was causing that, because that's her as well. I think
Yeah, but that's the point. Like, for example, there's a lot of things that everybody in this room right now, you know what I'm saying, can change and fix and do better at. And it's just what it is. And there was things that she, because there was probably many different things that she was very good at, that she was very talented to, that she was very wholesome at. She probably was in the movie, she seemed to be a very virtuous woman. So she seemed to be everything that man would need to be a wife. She just was overweight because she probably was depressed because she was dealing with a dude that was cheating on her, that didn't have no real love for her, that didn't know love his damn self. You know what I'm saying? Like treating her bad, and she probably is eating because it makes her feel good, eating some ice cream because it gives her joy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, not no excuse, because she still has to be strong enough to know what she has to do for herself, because she has to be patient, understanding, caring, corrective, long-suffering, faithful, and loyal to herself first. Because she can't be that to anybody else if she don't know how to do it to herself. So that's what the issue was. She didn't have love for herself. He didn't have love for her. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have it. And then,
so.
it's just what it is. It's a lot. And you can't love somebody. You can love somebody if they allow you to. But if a person like stays away from you, you can't love them, because you're not around them to love them, because you have to be around a person to actually give them the love that love is. Because it comes with the actual caring concept of it. And caring is also that physical behind it as well. You have to be able to care about a person and care about the physical concepts as much as the actual metaphysical concepts and emotional concepts that exist too. So it's layers to it.
We gon' shine that light. Gotta have a plan, you cannot hide. We gon' shine that light.
Stay focused and stop hoping on hocus pocus. Imagine our real only God and the power that's inside. We gon' shine our light, do it right like Spike Lee. I might be the lightning coming down from heaven, or just to get God sent. Like John, Google good music, you gon' find spit like mine. The Most High sent His sign and focus on the grind and walk the light of success. So I'ma give it my best. We all graduated, but y'all was studying wrong. I'm on my way to the top, never selling my soul. Just music shows and clothes, all for God. Not bragging, I just thank the Lord for all that I got. Tired of hearing all of the lies. Every time I hear 107.5, I think of why haven't I been signed? But realize I got my own mind that's so made and so fly. I won't die when the power is mine. Gotta keep going, let me devour the cries and spread the truth. It's all a matter of time before it shine through. I'ma do my part, shine in the booth, but also take it to the streets and bring it to you. Born to stay true and stay facts, keep the made back. Can't take it where I was made at. Not the same cat that used to brag about my things and where they was made at. Cause if it wasn't for God, nothing to be made yet. Used to get played and now I play back. Gave my life to God, now I'm looking at a blank check. The world is God's, but He let me rule it not. Gotta keep His rules in line, keep a true mind. Ain't no losing mind, keep moving, stop abusing time. Make your mind like you using mine, King John. Follow every dream, believe God can save a king. Even if he drinks smoke or keep him 40 by his spleen. God can put him on their knees, open your third eye to see. I stopped smoking the third time this week, but Mind Made, I picked up Mind Made TV. Start hustling, trying to change the scene. Get a knock at the door, it's reality. My little brother going to the streets, thinking in my head, how could this happen to me? Had to realize it was deeper than strength. Had to have a relationship with God to understand. Why was I without my kin? Not savage, he was the man, the one with the plan. Number 6, always ready to give. Life is what it is, even with plenty of sin. All cause we don't understand. Black is power. All this knowledge in the world, boy, is ours. But it came from God. Kim made it started. Don't be worried, say it straight, spray the cake. But watch it miss, cause I got God and common sense to praise the Most High. Not just sometimes, but every chance I get to show my mother and father respect for the love they sent. In the blood of the scent of a king that got crucified for bringing gifts. We can become unified and plead the fifth to any government trying to build walls a trip. If they giving help, raise your hand. Cause struggling on purpose is like asking for sin. You gotta deserve the respect. You don't earn a thing except God's grace. And you not safe if you don't pray. And even if you do, you must have faith. Believe in faith, nothing's safe. There's a balance that keep things great. Praise God, you will make it through the gates. The Most High is never late. Call on God to elevate. He allows my life to levitate to higher planes of consciousness. Trying to change my confidence. Took a lot of risks, but without grace it would have been irrelevant. I was smoking green and selling it just to get some more of it. I bet the devil love it till I rose above it. Shout out to my cousin for producing this for me. Family over everything, I act like I know it. Free Don, check the rate. Them boys never folded. Water, they can hold it. Themselves can't hold them. We still winning. Satan stopped grinning after I stopped sinning. And understand what was given. It's all facts, so sit and listen. I was given a mission to deliver wisdom. Let it flow, no river. My mental silver, and I shine like my soul gold. And my heart diamond. I was born a king, seven-minded. If you don't understand, never mind it. Feed your soul with the soul food. But first say grace before you take a plate. So God in glory, let it marinate. Fear and hate, the only thing that appear to stay. But throw loyalty away, and love just a toy to play. It's all fake, Illuminati can't control a remote. They destroying your hope, wake up, join the revolt. King John, I will never choke. Where God's grace like a coat, the rich is really poor. But the poor won't be alone. See the roll of souls lost, don't know the code. Seven King hold the key to reality. I know that they mad at me, but they just living their fantasy. King John, I will forever be a believer of God. We go shine that light. We go shine that light. With God. Power in my hand when I got God. Gotta have a plan, you cannot hide. You cannot hide. We go shine that light. Amen. With God. Amen. With God. Hallelujah. With God. Hallelujah. We go shine that light. With God. With God. With God. With God. With God. With God. Man, R.I.P. to my little brother Josh, man. R.I.P. to my cousin Dre. Shout out Mir.
Because just to finish that little part up, it's only love until you gotta return it. So the point of this is saying that a lot of people don't want to accept what true love is because it means that they actually have to give it themselves too. They have to be more patient, and they have to realize that the long suffering part hurts everybody. They're like, long suffering? What? No, why I got long suffering? Like that makes people automatically just throw away the whole thing of love, and they know that they can't lie about it. They know that they have to have it because they know that they need it themselves. Anybody that claim they believe in God, they definitely know what long suffering is. It means that you not go get what you think you want right away, and sometimes you're gonna have to deal with some of the negative things that come when you're doing anything, when you're building anything, when you're practicing anything. I never forget my first time at football practice. Boy, I thought I had asthma. And I think I was kind of acting like I had asthma a little bit because I'm like, bro, I gotta stop running right now. Cause I was never used to what was going on. And it was uncomfortable. But once I got used to it, I started running laps and laps and laps before I started feeling like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a development that you get from actually putting in the suffering. The suffering is actually what makes you strong enough to be the loyal and faithful like you're supposed to be too. All of it's tied together. And if you're not loyal and faithful and long suffering, then you're not going to be able to love a person. It's just not going to happen. So, and what's messed up is this. A lot, Scatter, I'm going to let you say, go right after this, bro. A lot of people, don't let me lose it. Go ahead, bro, because I done lost what I had. Go ahead, you got it.
My bad.
No, it was just I
Now what
lost
you
it
saying,
on my own. That's
what you saying, man, is 1,000%, because it's love. Like you got women. Like the other day, one of my wife's friends, she posted her son. Her son ain't number like 3 years old, bro, and he had her phone, and he was looking at himself. But you know they got them filters now where you can make yourself look like a monkey, a giraffe. But however he got to this part, he got the part where he got on makeup, lipstick, eyelash, all that. And my wife called her and like, what you doing? Why you post that of your son? She was trying to say that he did it. And true enough, the kid could have probably did that. He probably could have did it, but I don't think so. I really genuinely I think she thought it was funny. And I said, nah, I mean, but just stuff like that and just a bunch of things, how people treat their kids, man, it can't be love. It's impossible for that to be love. And what we talking about right now, if the kid ain't getting love, by the time he's an adult, he don't know how to give it. He's absolutely lost when it comes to that point. He or she don't know how to treat no man or woman. He don't know how to treat a stranger, a grandmother, or any of that. You know, a lot of us have, I'm pretty sure you guys got family members that got Facebook pages and Instagram pages, but my grandmother is on Facebook. I got aunties and uncles that got Facebook and Instagrams and all that. But I got little cousins that's on there and, bitch, fuck you, and, just, man, crazy stuff. But it's the lack of love. How do you do that? And you got elders on there, especially your grandmother, out of all of them. How do you talk like that in front of your grandmother? You know what I'm saying? Or you just butt half naked on
Well,
this thing.
that's not
You know what
really
I'm
lack
saying?
of love though, bro. Like that's more so like
No, what I'm
just
saying
lack of
is,
awareness.
it's the same. Man, it go all in the same. Caring, all that. It
No,
run
because
up under
ignorance is
love.
bliss, bro. Like if a person is unaware and ignorant of something, they can still literally be and that's why we have to be loving because we have to be able to be
It,
understanding enough to
and
know
that's what I'm
that a
trying to
person might
explain.
not be. But no, hold
That's
on.
what
But
I'm
I'm
trying to
saying,
explain because if they not getting it as a child, they not gonna get it as an adult. They have to
but
learn it
no,
as
that's
an
not
adult at
true
that
though, bro.
point. You know what
You
I'm saying?
can't say that.
Okay, so
If you
I
say
can say that. I can say that.
no, bro, but
I
I'm
can say
saying
that.
if you say that they can't get it as an adult, then that means that like we all fail missions because
No, no, no,
I
no,
I
no, no, no.
literally see that.
What I said they can't get it as an adult uh unless they learn. That's what I said. I didn't say necessarily that it's impossible for them to get or learn it or whatever. They have to learn it, and I know that. Just like I think it was Look, she said that she had to learn, how to be because it was people that she was putting her trust in and love in and wasn't getting it back. So it makes you aware, like you said, people come in your life and then you want to talk to them and kind of test them sometime because it, trust. You're not trusting them because you done gave your love out, gave your heart out to so many people, and people ain't not giving it back. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
just
So
like that, bro.
do you think that in order to love you have to receive it?
No, no, that's not what I'm saying
No,
at
no,
all.
because I hear what you, but Scatter, hold on, I hear what you're saying, brother. But that's what I'm saying. Like the thing that I think you're missing is that, like, the thing is, ignorance is a real thing, and if a person is ignorant, then we cannot really recognize what's really going on with them, because they are lacking the knowledge, and they might not even know how to communicate
It's
or
not
articulate.
is not
No,
the
no, hold on, but
knowledge
hold on. Let
love.
me finish. Hold on. Let me finish this because it's important for us to recognize because this is part of love. Love is being able to understand too. Understanding is part of it, and we
Knowledge.
sometimes have to understand that a person can lack knowledge of and lack the understanding of what we need, and we have to be patient with them because they might not even recognize what they're doing. That's why the Bible says we fight not against flesh and blood. So the thing is, there's people that really don't be knowing what they're doing, and they actually do things against you to hurt you. And it's not that it's because I will say this: it's because they lack the love. But we still have to be loving enough to recognize why it's happening and what's happening, so we can help correct them. Because correction also is part of love. So it's important for us to be able to
Right.
identify that.
Yeah. So I'm saying like this. Even like I said with the little boy, how in the world could you be loving that little boy like that? Where's the love in what happened in that situation? It wasn't none. You just and you can't say you didn't see it. It's on your phone. You see what I'm saying? And there's so many situations like that, and these is kids, so they grow up not knowing no some type of love.
No, I hear what you're saying though. You know, you right. You right. It is a lot of it stems from the home and the lack of love from the home. But yes, that's because we all can't agree what love is, and we keep thinking we know what love is, and it's not. That's none of that's love.
Yeah,
Love is the literal patience. Like that's why it's important for us to really identify, because if we don't identify it, then we go keep thinking that it's a whole bunch of stuff that it's not, and we go keep thinking that it's like about certain things that it's not. Like because the thing is, if somebody does something like that's out of ignorance, like they might like they child did what you just said, like got on the phone and put some makeup on and got on, took a picture and posted it and stuff like that out of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? That child still can probably be loved by, not probably, but that child can be loved by that parent if that parent still is patient enough to recognize what happened. Now posting a picture and laughing about it is a ignorant concept, because the person might not be recognizing that how affected, like how affecting it that could be to that child, or how much effect it could have on that child by that being put out about that child. But at the same time, it's a child. So a lot of people that's normal in the way that they think go understand that that child is not really, understand this child is young kid, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So nobody's really like, oh, when you was 7 years old, you did this and you had on a dress, you gay. Like that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a dress on at 20 years old or 17 years old and things like that, then you kind of, it's a little bit different. It's a lot of bit different. You know
yeah,
what I'm
but
saying? So,
at the same time, like I said, he's looking at himself. What if he in turn likes to look and see mommy putting on makeup? You know what I mean? And then he start putting it on. It's you setting him up for, you know what I'm saying, for a hard life at that point. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Just where's the
but
love?
that's the
I
opportunity for her to love though. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's
Oh,
the
definitely,
opportunity.
definitely. I mean, I put it this way: I love him so much. I told my wife, "Go get him." You dig what I'm saying? Let me. You find out what's going on. Just go get him. I got him. You know what I'm saying? And I deal with him. You know what I mean? So that's my heart though. Ain't nobody else. It's probably somebody else that got hearts like that. But in that child's life, he needs somebody that got a heart to situate him the right way. You know what I'm saying? But the movie you was talking about with the chick. Now check this out. She had so much love in her. I think it was part two, I believe. Homeboy got sick, and she was going and taking care of him behind the new guy's back. The new guy didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? So is that love? You know what I'm saying? Is that love or is that stupidity?
Well, yeah,
How,
no,
how
no,
can you
just
how can
because,
you look at that?
yeah, no, and I want to make sure we clear on something. Like, see, and that's another thing too, like perception. Like, cause like in that movie, like just because I acknowledge and look at the concept of I'm using certain points from that movie. The main points that I wanted to use from that movie was that your value is not dictated by the person that sees it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Your value is dictated by the value that you create of your
yeah,
within yourself. So it's like she was not valuable to him because he could not see the value in her. And what I'm
right.
saying is that even if he didn't love him back, he definitely clearly didn't love her. You know what I'm saying? And she was
Yeah,
more willing to love him, so she would have adjusted to some of the things that he needed from her to love him better if he asked. But he wasn't able to willing to do the same thing. And love is
yeah.
about what she was on. She was on the will to actually make things work with this man. So that's the reason why in that next movie you see her still trying to take care of this man, because she never broke that soul tie for her.
She
That was
never
never
broke it.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
So
love is
it's
still
like
gonna
it's
be
like Look
a
was
thing that she
saying.
want to give.
It's like Look was saying. She should have been more about loving herself first before going out and doing whatever she was doing. But like you said, some people don't know, and man, it's crazy, bro.
I just want to follow up from that. I think it all goes back to, well, not all, but a lot of the time, well, in my case and in some of the cases that I've witnessed here, it goes back to childhood. There's one brother I know who wasn't told what his gender was all his life, and he grew up around women, and he loved those women so much that he never questioned his gender. It's only until he got to like his teenage years, he started hitting on other brothers. He learned the hard way that he was actually male. By then, He wanted to get his hair did, his nail did, his lashes did, his makeup. He wanted, he wanted the whole full female attire. And it was like he then developed depression because he wasn't allowed to be the woman that he is, and this is because growing up as a child, nobody instilled masculinity in him. And in my personal case, although I grew up with, some elements um, of love, really potent, intense love, I also grew up in an environment where there was complete zero love. And I developed a strong relationship with food to substitute or compensate for the love that I needed. And it put my health at risk. It was a really bad. I still have challenges with that now, So in relationships and stuff like that, um, I'll meet guys that be like, "Oh, you're overweight. You need to lose weight," and it was like, well, if I'm not feeling any love, I'm just gonna keep replacing it with food until I feel love, And then I had to like strengthen. This is what I'm talking about, the self-awareness thing. People say that, oh, I'm filled with love. I went to church, filled with love. When you go to church, you get gossiped about and about your weight, your eating. And I'm supposed to be in a loving environment. So I was told a lot of lies. But when I found God, I had to then just tune into his love first and give myself that patience to start walking, start crawling first and then walking into loving myself. And through that, that's where I found the people who I love and who truly loved me. So it's a
Okay,
learned thing, I think.
understood. And I, yeah, it's a process, and I want to bring it, and I want to make sure we don't go too far left away from what we talking about either, because what we like the first part, the last part I left off on, my bad, is as I go back to the outline, is it's only love until you got to return it. So I don't want to get too stuck on our own personal feelings about how we feel about love and our own personal feelings, because truthfully, sometimes we could be wrong. We can be the victim all day, but are we loving? That's what I really want to like kind of focus on with that concept. But as I was trying to bring it out, is more so like we don't actually identify what love is. Like even in that movie, she didn't know what love is. He didn't know what love is. And he was playing on her lack of knowing what love is and her lack of love for herself, but her willing to love him was there. She wasn't willing to love herself as much as she was willing to love him. But if she was willing to love herself more, then she would have got there. Like and that's kind of what look is saying. And it's like it's understanding more so like learning what to identify love is important, because if you can identify, you can hold yourself accountable and people around you accountable. But if you allowing people to have different understandings of love that's contradicting what love truly is, then it becomes an issue. And you might get with a person that don't really know what love is, and you kind of know what love is, and you like, okay, well, I'm getting with this person, you okay, I can accept your understanding of love, and you not, then it gets to a point where it's switching up because that love don't add up now, because it's missing some things. What's missing from this love? You don't know. Well, I do care about you. That's not enough, because it's not love. That's why it's not enough. People be confused on why it's not enough. It's not enough because it's not actually love. Love is not enough. Love is enough if it's done right. If it's actually love. So it be stuff missing from that. In the next part, before I play the next part, who was that? Go ahead. Who was that about to say something?
No, I just had something to say about that. Yeah, I think it is love. I think everybody can feel love. I think the disconnect is showing love, right? So different people show love in different ways, and the way you show love is usually the way you want to receive love. Like I don't know if anybody ever read that book, Five Love Languages, but it talks about different ways that people perceive love. Some people like to receive gifts. Some people like time spent. Some people like acts of service, touch. You know what I'm saying? It's different ways. If you somebody who likes to receive gifts, and that person just wants to hug on you all day and kiss on you all day, but they never bring you something, you're gonna think they don't love you. But in their heart, they love you, and they're trying in a way that they know, because maybe that's how they feel love, by hugs and kisses and stuff like that. But I think the disconnect is the way you show it, not necessarily feel it, because you can feel it but not know how to show it, or not show it properly.
Well, in the concept that you bringing out, and I want this to be clear too, because this is very important. It's not nothing to do with the feeling. And people, that's the problem. People think they're feeling love because they're happy or content or laughing or enjoying something or whatever. But that feeling is always temporary. The love does not go away just because the feeling is not there. The feeling is the actual concept of you recognizing that something dealing with love is present. And love is not just caring, but caring is love languages. Love languages is part of caring. Caring is only one part of love. Caring is caring about whether how a person feels, what they like, don't like, what makes them mad, happy, sad, glad, all those things, and catering to those concepts and trying to, do whatever it takes to make that person feel those ways that you know that they will feel if you do those actions. That's only one part of love, though. Love also requires you to be patient, understanding, corrective, long suffering, faithful, and loyal. Those things people leave out because they think that love languages is the only thing that matters. So if it is important to find a person and learn the things that makes them happy and things like that, because that's caring about them. But that's only one part of it. And even in that part is not the most important part, because the most important part comes with the patience, understanding, and correction that you have to be able to give that person as well as they need to give you. So you can't be asking for something that you're not even willing to give. So if you have a certain love language and a person not able to fulfill that love language, you supposed to be understanding enough to know that they're not able to do that, not because they don't want to, but because they're not able to. And if you don't like accept that, you shouldn't even be with that person. So there's nothing but clear understanding when it comes to love. Love breaks everything down. Like for sure, for sure.
That,
Go ahead,
that,
look, my bad.
that,
Wait, go ahead, Marco.
oh, look, go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead, Marco. It's cool.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that's kind of. I mean, that just seems like a one-sided way to look at it when you say, you know, what I'm saying, you have a love language that you want to be loved on, and the other person isn't, you know, what I'm saying, acting in a way to show you their love in that way, that you should just accept it. I mean, you feel what you feel, and at the end of the day, love is a feeling. It's an emotion. There's nothing aside from that. Like, I mean, I think it can be perceived as an action. Like, you can act to love, and that would be the love language. But it's ultimately how you feel about your spouse, how you feel about your kids, how you feel about God, your country, your job, whatever. And some people, how they feel about money. So love is an emotional feeling. It's a tie, and most of the time, it's tied to, what your safety that you get from that, right? So you get safety in the Lord, or whatever religion you praise to, and you love it. You love it for that reason. You know what I'm saying? A woman, she feels comfort, safety from her husband or her man, so in turn, she loves him. She's attached to that. Same with kids, but I just think it's a feeling and not anything more than that.
So, Marco, are you saying that you could be in a relationship with somebody and the person does love you, but they've just got a different love language? They just have a different way of like expressing the love. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, for sure, I've been in that.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
just so it could be
interesting.
clear, I want to make sure it's clear though, because I hear what you're saying, Marco, but that's not true, brother. And I'm not trying to be funny when I say it. It's just that the word, for example, philo, and I'm mad because I don't want to go there yet because that's not part of this section. That section is actually in the second part. We go get there, but I just want to quickly address it because philo is a concept of love. It's translated as the word love in the Bible. So this confuse people because it's not the same as the love where it says for the that God is love. The word that's used when it says God is love and love is patience, long suffering, a lot of others. That's agape. So agape and then philo are two different words, they translated both of them into love because they wanted to cause confusion. They wanted somebody to think that the love of God was the love of money, because the word love of money is the word philargorie. Philargorie is a word that is combined with love of money. It's a term that means love of money, but it's talking about lust, the lust of money. So the lust of is with the concept love. They just put the word love there instead of the word lust and desires. So your lust and desires that you have for a person or individual or anything, because you can lust over cake, you can lust over anything like that. That has nothing to do with the actual love, which it's easier to love when you have the lustful desires for something. So when you have the lustful desires, it's easy for you to be patient, understanding, caring, corrective, long suffering, faithful, and loyal. Like the lady in the thing, it was easy for her to be that way in the movie because she was lusting and desiring this man so much. But that wasn't the love part. The love part was what she was doing while she was lusting and desiring him. She was being patient, understanding, caring, corrective, long suffering, trying to figure out these things, but she wasn't doing it with herself. So she was messing up. So, but the feelings that she had caused her to be confused. I'm gonna break that down though. I'm gonna go into some, but do you get what I'm saying though, Marco?
I mean, when you say patience, I think patience is like the byproduct of loving. Like if you love someone, you will have patience to understand and not skip to action unnecessarily. Because when you move too hastily, you sometimes overreact without all the cards on the table. And I think that's what patience is important for love. But I just don't feel like patience is love. That's a display of love, having patience. And any other action that you do for that person, that's just a display of love. But I'm curious of what, the definition, Theos, so the one that you gave the first time, what is that definition of love?
Yeah, it's lust and desires. That's the definition. To desire something, to lust over something, to like something, is the concept of that. That is not the same as the concept of agape, which is the actual true love of God, which is the patience, understanding, care, correction, long suffering, faithfulness, and loyalty that God always is at all times. And that's why it says God is love, because God is those things all times. God is not lust and desires though. So that's why those two words don't go together. That's why whoever translated the Bible into English, who translated both of those words to English, even though they are two different words, they did that in a I want to say ignorant way, but if it was anything beyond ignorant, it was evil. So that's just what it is. So it's just people just confuse it, bro, because it's important to understand that patience is love. You can't have love without patience. If you try to say you love somebody and you're not patient with them, then you a liar. It just won't be clear. You know what I'm saying? It just can't be there. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah. Man, love is just love is bomb. You know what I'm saying? Love is it. And our society, culture, just so out of it, it hurts. Like, man, it just hurt, bro. And so many people don't understand. Like, we having this discussion, and it's only four of us. We got people in the audience that's having this discussion. And it should be way more people in here talking about it. But the truth of the matter is, he said it's only gonna be a few that have it, that understand love. You know how crazy that is? But just like I was explaining to you earlier, man, that you have to, if you know that you possibly can't expect everybody to come in this room and be here and want to be here and understand what you're saying because they don't have no love. They don't know it. They don't understand it. And man, it's crazy, bro. But man, but like I said, it hurts to a person that understands it. It hurts, and I agree with everything that you're saying. Man, that's why I be in here, bro.
100, brother. Yeah, no, and shout out to everybody in the audience too. Art, Kimberly, Ari, Nova, um, Shayasia. Shout out to you, sisters. Shout out to everybody that's in here listening and showing love. I appreciate y'all. And of course, shout out to Luke and Marco and you, brother Scatter, for joining the conversation. The people that's not here are the people that just not supposed to be here, just be like that. But this, I've realized that it's too valuable to like hinder the world from actually recognizing. Like I was actually worrying about Clubhouse people and getting them to like what you saying, like they don't get it, trying to convince them to get it. When I realize now that that's on them. But now they can get it if they really want it because I'm gonna post it on Spotify and stuff like that. So for the people, I have a whole audience on there. I got like over 3,000 something listens on my podcast, and I don't even do nothing but just post it. So somebody's listening, um, and that's good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm learning is that the more places that I actually like put my content, the more random, people that's gonna come and see me and stuff like that. So I'm not even worried about trying to find people who want to be here or people that's gonna come being here. No, I'm only worried about the people that want to be here and that's gonna be here forever. Meaning the people that's not gonna switch up and change up ever. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. This is a long thing. This is not something that's temporary. This is not something that's only gonna be here for a moment. This is something that's gonna be here all the time and it's gonna continue because it's the actual essence of what God wants. So love is the key. That's why the Bible says in 1 John 4:8 that love is God. Love is God, and anybody who love is born of God and know of God. He who loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. That's the goal, is for us to all be loving and to conquer love and learn it. So and that's what Jesus said. Jesus said, I know that you have not the love of God abiding in you. You know what I'm saying? The reason why it's like that is because they did not actually love at all. Like you saying, they don't know what patience is. They don't know what understanding is. They don't understand what caring means. When the minute they feel uncomfortable or bothered or frustrated or whatever, they turn their back away from God. God will teach you what you need. But it's frustrating for people to get what God has for them because they have been taught everything they've been taught for so long. That's just what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so some of these things that I say myself, I didn't always feel the same way that I feel right now. Go ahead, Brother Daniel, before I go to this next section. I'm about to
Okay.
play something. Go ahead.
Um. Yeah. What I was gonna say. Yeah. And like I said, it hurts. And from a person that have passion about things, like when we watch sports, we love, sports is sports. It ain't got nothing to do with God or none of that. But at the same time, we be so passionate about it. When you see a person that actually love the sport, he excels at it to the point to where he's the GOAT. God in that sport. You know what I'm saying? And a person that may have the same that has the same ability, if he don't love the sport like that, he's going to spoil the sport for you. And that's why you got people that may play at a high level, but some people be like, man, nah, he ain't doing that good. Y'all just on his bumper. He all hype. Because that guy, he may know how to play the game, but he don't really have that special love that's needed to get everybody's respect out of that game. And that's, to me, that's how love is. I mean, if you loving everybody, man, you gonna get that love back automatically. It ain't gonna be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You walk into somebody's house, they gonna see the love on you. They gonna offer you everything in their house. You know what I'm saying? If they could, they gonna see it on you. So it's nothing wrong with it. It's the bomb.
100. I hear what you're saying. But the thing is, it's deeper than that. Um, the problem that a lot of people have is that it's more so like not at all about what people can do for you at all. It's all about what you can do for somebody else. Is it?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
learning how to balance yourself and understand who you truly are is the actual key and goal. Patience, understanding, care, correction, long suffering, faithfulness, and loyalty with yourself is the start of learning how to create and value yourself, self-govern yourself, become creation. You feel me? Like, I am money. You feel me? I am whatever it is I want to be. Like, God has made me that. God gives me everything I need. So it's like this understanding. Some people got different mindsets. Like, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Like over a year ago, I was on Clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? Sitting at my desk at work. You know what I'm saying? And getting paid by the hour there. You know what I'm saying? And that job was really hindering me because my value was limited. I was only valued based on what they said I was valued as. So whatever they said, this is how much you're worth. This is what you make an hour, and this is how much you go get a week. This is how much you go get this. Boom, boom, boom. I'm limited now. That's what I make all the time, no matter what. No matter how many hours I put in, I'm always gonna make this amount that in that amount of hours. You know what I'm saying? So the only way I can get any more money is if I put in more hours. But if I'm only limited to the amount of hours they're giving me, then that means that my money is limited. That's a big thing. So what I'm saying is now when I found out how to love myself and be patient with myself and understand myself and caring to myself and long suffering with myself and recognize that everything don't just be how I wanted to be right away, take chances, move how you need to move, things started to move in a different way for me. And the truth of the matter is I'm in this, I say the same type of energy, like far as like the things that I'm able to do, I'm still able to do those things, but I'm able to do more things now. And like, I'm able to actually, like create more things and have time to even produce more things while also still being able to do everything I've been able to do. And I'm not working that job no more. I'm selling my books full time. And I done published 14 books so far. So that means that God has literally made me money. He has made me, he has given me money by giving me the ideas that I have gained that I was able to put out that, you know, got me back, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a concept of understanding how love truly works. And it's like, what can I give to the world? What is my value? What am I worth? And once you figure that out and then you find the people who value you, you will not lose. It's just what it is. That's the energy. You feel me?
Woo! Coming to the stage on this poetry night. You got your boy King John from Detroit, Michigan. Let's get him up here.
Oh yeah, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all.
What you about? All right, thank y'all. Look. I see me, a true king. New dreams got me aiming for new things. Excuse me if I'm over abusing the gift that God gave. Times change. If you open that eye that Haru made, find your true name, Israel. No King James can tell you who you is. How to be a man is based on experience. They delirious and theories that the life is giving us, live it up. We up the bigger stuff while they focused on bigger buffs and being tough, losing the understanding that can deliver us to a greater mind. The haters blind. So never mind the hate, that's really confused love. Kids losing their life thinking they tools fun. Happy to brag about that new gun, but won't even spend time with their new son. I'm too done expecting the best. I'ma just do me and stop expecting less. From lost souls, thugging on the internet. Really whack, just like up in the mag and don't shoot, the type of shit that gets you whacked. R.P. Savage, I can't get him back, but the spirit he had never left. These kids have no respect and so unofficial they'll kill a ref and deny anything that come with facts. King John, my mate is where it's at. Thank you. Check out this quick episode of My Made TV featuring Young Rich and Khalifa.
If it's about bands, let's shake hands, I'm with whatever. I just say, get your bread and stay out the way. When you in this life, niggas out here hate on you, niggas. Yeah, motherfuckers try to bring you down to their level, niggas. Do what you gotta do. Get your bread, stay out the way. Real shit. That's all I do. Stay out the way, man. Get this music shit. Stay out the way, be with my son. If y'all don't see me out here in these streets, nigga, I'm with my son. You dig? And that's real life. That's where it's at. Cause if you don't have me, cause another black man growing up without a dad, I can't be in jail. I can't be in the ground for my son. I gotta show him that's a better way out here. You know what I'm saying? That's real words of advice to a real nigga. And that's real talk, man. On everything.
My Made, tune in. Type in Mind Made TV on YouTube right now. You can tune in to every episode of Mind Made TV right now. So check it out.
What is love? Chapter 4. Why do we do others in ways that we would hate to be done? Is it the fact that we do not care about the long-term effect it may have on a person or ourselves? The answer is yes. We live in the moment, and that means we want things now. But in reality, we have to understand that every action has a reaction. Luke 6:38 says, give and it will be given back to you. Do not think what you put out won't come back. The problem is we don't care. We let our evil energy act in situations that could be a test of love, and we ignore it because it's harder to love than it is to leave. True love is a choice. True love is inspired by two words in the Bible. The first is a Hebrew word, ahaba, H160 in the Hebrew concordance, which means God's love. Songs of Solomon 8:6 tells us about this love and how strong it is. The second word is agape. G26 in the Greek concordance is a word that represents brotherly love. 1 Corinthians 13:4 tells you what love is about. Now, to have either one of these loves, you must have patience, care, understanding, long suffering, which is not complaining no matter how bad things get, correction, loyalty, and faithfulness simultaneously at all times. Without all seven, you cannot love someone truly. Anyone who says they love someone without delivering these actions is a liar. The feelings people have for someone isn't love. It's the lust and desires for the person that you feel. Once you have these feelings, it is easy to love a person at that point. The true test of love is when things get hard or complicated. Will you still stay? If not, love is not in you. The only time you should leave a situation if you love a person is if you are being physically abused and taken advantage of, or you are being betrayed and your partner is stepping out with other people in the way that they should with you. At this point, love does not exist on the opposite end. The hardest part of love is knowing when to stop loving someone. Now, I'm going to say this part about if you are being physically abused and taken advantage of, or you are being betrayed and your partner is stepping out with other people, this is the only time you should leave a person. Now, the reason why this is important is because a lot of people leave relationships for everything but these concepts. And they try to lie and act like they left for a good reason, and they didn't. They try to find every reason why they left, and they didn't leave for the correct reason. He didn't love me. Well, you don't even know what love is to know if he loved you or not. You can say it better if you actually knew what it was and actually recognize it, but people don't do that. So that's a big concept that people, don't look. So it says this. It says, at that point, the love does not exist on the opposite end. The hardest part of love is knowing when to stop loving someone. So learning when to stop loving an individual is the key part of recognizing, like, you got an issue. I got to stop loving this person right here is, hurting me and is not good. Now you have to analyze what's happening. Why are you hurt? So this is a big concept because most people will feel like this, like, I have to stop loving this person because I'm hurting. This person is hurting me to be with this person. Well, why are you hurting? Now, I'm hurting because this person is beating me and abusing me. We seen that. Oh, this person is stepping out with other people in the way that they should with me. That's still bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cool. This person is taking advantage of my love and is not giving me any love back and don't actually appreciate the love that I'm giving. And they're actually giving other people that same love that I'm asking for and I'm giving to them. Boom. Another great reason to leave a situation with the person. Now, this is what it says. The hardest part about love is knowing when to stop loving someone. Your feelings might not line up with your need to love or not love. So you might not be feeling like you want to leave a person, and you might know that you need to, but your feelings for that person might be like, nah, we not going nowhere. That's your fault. You have logical reasons why you should leave this person, and there's no reason why you should stay, but you're gonna stay because your feelings aren't there. Like, oh, this person, they the sex is good. I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh, well, I'm not gonna lie. It's convenient to be around this person. This person got my kids, and I'm able to be around my kids more often than me and her, or me and him, or whatever is together. Boom, another bad reason, but it has nothing to do with you already know that there's real reasons why you should leave this situation. Once you decide to stay, that's called loyalty. That's called long suffering. That's called love, because you're staying for reasons that you see are good things that can actually benefit from you doing what you need to do to be here, even if this person's hurting you. But the problem is, whenever those feelings go away, now you're switching up. Now you're not loyal anymore. Now you like, nah, it ain't even worth it. The kids ain't worth it. The being here ain't worth it. The vagina, the penis, whatever, it ain't worth it. I'm gone. That's not love. It never was love either, which is the sad part. It shows that you didn't actually have the proper intentions from the beginning. And because your proper intentions is that this person is hurting me, I need to leave. But the truth is, you only stayed because of the good things you've seen. Now, if you would have forgave that person and said, this person is abusing me, and I understand they're only doing it because they're mad at me for something that I did, and I know I did it or whatever, and then you go stay anyway. That's stupid. Especially if you're gonna leave one day. That's the whole point. You leave now. And you will leave one day if this person is abusing you, because guess what? You're gonna get tired of that. And if the abuse is there, it means it's something that's causing it. And if you don't know what it is to identify it, to stop it, it's not gonna stop. Even if the person like, oh, I ain't gonna put my hands on you, they're gonna still have some type of feelings towards you that's not gonna resonate well in your relationship. So as we continue, it says this: when you know that a person isn't loving you by following the 7 concepts of love, which is patience, understanding, care, correction, long suffering, faithfulness, and loyalty, you must communicate that to them, not in an aggressive way, but in a respectful, loving manner. If they do not respond back with love, then you must remain calm and communicate the clear issue in front of you both. If you do that and they still refuse to respond without love, you must explain to them that you are unhappy. And at that point, you need to separate yourself from the hardened heart that they have. You know why that's important? Because people don't do this. This right here is powerful. This is one of the biggest things that most people kind of miss in their relationships and why their relationship fail. Ah, you know, this person's not loving me. I'm about to just suck it up, endure it until my feelings go away enough for me to leave. Because I think that the love is the feelings. So as long as I feel whatever way, I love them, so I shouldn't leave them. Go ahead. Who is that?
That's me. Hey, Scotty. So check it out, because you got it right now. You basing it on the relationship status. Now check this out, because love, it got so much more to do with your relationship. Because if you take on a person, and you loving them and all that, and you consider yourself married to them and all of that, right? But so many instances where they don't get along with the in-laws, or you know what I mean, they don't get along with the brother or the sister or the cousin. So it's almost like, how they say, well, I didn't marry his family, I married, but you almost have to me. If I love you, that I gotta take everything that come with you. I can't take just you and nothing else that involves you, because we go on to family functions, we going to do these things with people that's in your family or your friends and whatnot. I have to take everything that's with you. I can't just take you. That ain't no love, because we might get to a point where you be like, man, I miss my family. I got to go see my family. Now we got problems because I can't go around your family and whatnot. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
but
saying?
no,
So
that's
that
so
so
what
what I'm
I
saying, is that the love has to carry, a, like the world. You got to carry that around the world with you. It ain't just in one thing, or
yeah, no,
you know what I mean,
this
on
doesn't
one
apply.
person.
This doesn't apply to just relationships in general. Like, or like this, I mean, like man and woman relationship, that is this not even, is making sure that is not actually even specifying relationship dealing with just a spouse. It's actually just talking about when a person isn't loving you by
Yeah,
following this thing. So it's not just specific. This is for everybody. This is for your
right.
mother, your cousin, your sister, brother. Everybody has to have these concepts, and you should not have anybody around you that's not following these 7 concepts in general. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
So that's
real.
what this is. This
That's
is not
real.
exclusive just to like your personal relationships with your spouse.
Yeah, that's real, because you're gonna find yourself in trouble, because you got people around you that ain't about no love. Man, that's crazy,
No, facts. And so let me so it go on to say this. Yeah, the part I was on where it's saying like you have to communicate. People don't communicate. It says if they do not respond back with love, then you must remain calm and communicate the clear issue in front of you both. So if you go to this person and you communicate to them and say, "Hey, you're not being patient with me, understanding all the 7 concepts," and you don't do it in an aggressive way, you do it in a calm, respectful manner, and they do not respond back with love, then you just remain calm and say, "Hey, you know what? You see, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm trying to communicate with you and let you know that I'm not, you're not loving me, and I don't feel love. I'm not getting love from you, but I'm telling you that I'm not happy here, and I need to leave this situation alone because I don't want to spend my life with somebody that does not want to love me. And it's that simple. And then if they don't, they should do one or two things. They should be like, well, why you feel like I don't love you? and you already communicated that they wasn't following the 7 concepts above. So that means that they not listening. So that means that at that point you communicate to them, well, you're not being whatever one of the 7 concepts that they're not being. You're not being loyal, or you're not being faithful, or you're not being whatever. And you let them know that, and they're still like whatever, and they're not trying to understand. They're not trying to be patient. They're not trying to be corrective with themselves like they supposed to. Then you need to make sure that you separate yourself from them. So it says, if you do that and they still refuse to respond without love, you must explain to them that you are unhappy. And at that point, you need to separate yourself from the hardened heart that they have. If a person is at that point with you without love, it only means that they have interest in something other than you, which means that they're not, if a person is with you and they don't really love you, that means that they're only with you because there's something that's dealing with you, or something around you, or something like that's like, that they actually do like. And if it's not God, like if it's not the God in you, like, you know what I'm saying? The person like, hey, I love the fact that you got God in you. I can see the real love. I can see the patience, understanding, care, correction, long suffering, faithfulness in you. I love it. That's what makes me want. They're not going to want to lose that. And they're going to move differently than they move. But a lot of times people don't be there for that reason. They be there because of all type of other reasons. And then they just be there. And then it shows in the relationship, and people ignore it because they don't want to face the truth that this person don't love you, because they keep saying the word, well, I love you. No, you don't. You lying. And you know how I know you lying? Because you're not being patient, understanding, caring, correct. You know what I'm saying? I can show you where you're not. And if you don't want to acknowledge it, then that means that you're in denial. So this concept works perfectly, because if you can identify what a person is truly doing, then you can hold them accountable. And they can't escape it. So it goes on. If where it says, don't worry. It should be easy. It should be able to be noticed as long as you do not lay down with this person or engage in sexual acts until you are certain that this person can be trusted with your heart. When you start having sex with a person, it creates certain energies, and it gains a more of a connection, and it also makes that person more bound to you, and also you become more responsible for this person. It's just what it is. You just, like, y'all share a certain bond, and unless y'all come to some type of agreement before, like, this is not that. And even still, that's gonna end up causing problems in your personal life, because hopefully you're not just giving up your energy to the wrong person or somebody who's dangerous to be able to be giving that up to. So it's a process. So then let me go on to this next part. It says that requires at least a year of you and your partner going through many different concepts. A year is like just a estimate. You know what I'm saying? So it takes you about a year to get to know a person for real. So it's like going out, meeting this person, doing a lot of stuff with this person, spending time with this person, being alone with this person, finding out how you feel about this person, like trying to really figure out who this person really is. That is gonna take you some time. And once you do figure out who that person is, if y'all had not had sex yet, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna determine at that point, like, okay, I really don't even want to really have sex with this person, or this person not really somebody I can see myself being with for a long time. Then you can start being honest with yourself, and then you can say, you know what, I don't need to continue this. And y'all haven't did anything, y'all haven't messed around and had sex and came to no agreement that y'all, boom, all right, separate. You got to understand it. It might be painful, it might hurt, it might be whatever, but separate. It's not gonna work. And that's love in itself, being able to know how to do that. So it's a lot that's to it. It says this. It says, where is that? It will take longer if you do not experience any hardship during the first year of time. In book 1, I spoke of friendship. True friendship is a test of trials and tribulations. You must fight through. So is the same with your relationship. Don't jump into sex or commitment until you have known the person enough to know how easy they give up. You will find out as long as you be patient. If you and your partner go through a lot early in your relationship, that is good, not bad. If they handle the problems well, you get to know the person a lot faster, but it isn't a common thing. It actually is rare to have problems in a relationship for the first 2 years. If you and your partner both are established and know what you want, then the relationship might be smoother the first year or two. On the other hand, there is still a possibility that you can have many problems early. It could be for many different reasons. And that doesn't make your relationship worse. It actually makes it better. You get to experience pressure with your partner to see how they hold up versus couples who does not go through anything the first year or two or the first 2 years, and on year 3 break up because of something very small. Now, this is important because a lot of people get into relationships and they think that it's supposed to be perfect, which is no problems, no mess ups, no nothing. But actually, that's gonna happen regardless. It's gonna happen for sure in every relationship. It's gonna happen in your own life if you don't be in a relationship. Silly. Like, what is you? People be stupid sometimes. Like, bro, are you telling me that when you was single, woman, lady, man, whoever you are, when you was single, you didn't have no problems, no issues? Not true. Liar. You just pretended like that you didn't have no issues, or everything was all good with you by yourself and you was comfortable being by yourself, because that was the illusion you had to put up so that you can be like, okay, yeah, me and you both on the same page. We both know exactly what we want in our lives. We both happy 100% with everything that we got going on. We both know ourselves 100%. We both love each other, love ourselves the way that we're supposed to. We both know what love is 100%. That's not true. Now, if it is true and you get in a relationship like that, your relationship won't end. It will never end. That's just what it is. That's a fact. It will never end if you and your partner both get in relationships when y'all both know who y'all truly are. Y'all both know what love truly is. Y'all both understand what the concept of love, and y'all both mature. Y'all go down. Y'all relationship will win. It will never. It will never fail. But people don't get into relationships like that. They get in relationships when they don't truly know who they are, where they don't know what love is, where they not 100% happy by themselves, which is why they're looking for somebody to be in a relationship. That's just what it is. So people confuse love. So, okay, it says, where, okay, so it says, love at first sight is real. You can literally meet someone and say, I'm going to marry this person. And you can actually do it if you choose to. The only issue is that it will be very hard to do, considering you do not know what is come with this person. Nevertheless, you can still choose to fight and love that person from the first day you lay eyes on them, but only if the person lets you. You cannot force anybody to love you, because love is a choice. So that's a big part. Like, even if you want to love somebody, if a person don't want to be loved and they want to push love away, then you can't force yourself to be on like, you got to stop. That's just what it is. It's simple, but it's like frustrating because you probably like, oh, well, I want to love you because I love you. You made me think you love me and all these things, but that's just how life works. People don't be knowing stuff. People be ignorant and people be lying to themselves. They have to literally be willing to love you. It's not this imaginary feeling that just comes upon you like, oh my God, I fell in love. No, they have to be willing to love you. All the lust and desires that come into people's lives make them lust and desire a person. That's where that comes from. And a lot of people don't know that's where it comes from. So they be deceived on why they're in the relationship that they're in, because they got a false understanding on what love is. So nevertheless, you cannot fall in or out of love. That is a myth. You choose to love a person, and that choice is easier at times where you are having a good perception of the person. But when the bad comes and throws off that perfect perception, love becomes harder to choose. So a lot of people have experienced this, where they literally think they love a person, feel like they love a person because this person like has not did anything really wrong, and they have not seen that person in any bad positions, never seen the person sad, never seen the person depressed, never seen the person experience nothing tragic, never seen the person fight, never seen the person do anything crazy or whatever, right? That is a perfect perception, because you can put anything in those spaces. You can imagine this person being the perfect person in all those areas that you've never seen that person in before. Oh, this person gotta handle certain things like great. Turns out they don't. Boom. Now you feel differently when you realize that the perception that you thought you had is not the case. Now, what do? You're supposed to still love the person, but now you feel like the perception that was put up was the love. No, it wasn't. The perception made it easy for you to be patient, understanding, caring, and corrective long, because you wanted to be. You chose to be. So it goes on to say this. It says, you choose to love a person. At that point, choose. Where it go? Okay, here it go. It says now after. Hold on. Here it go. The 7 concepts above are separate concepts by themselves, which means you cannot love someone, but still only follow one of the 7 concepts. So meaning like if you just patient with a person and you're not all the other 6 concepts, then you're not loving. You just being patient. If you are caring to a person, but you're not patient in all the other 5 other concepts, then you are not loving. Like, so it goes into example. Example 1, you can care about a person, but not be patient with them. You can hope that they do not die and even not want them to die because you care about them. You care for them. You care about their well-being and things like that, but won't be patient with whatever frustrating or disruptive thing they are doing that may be a leading cause of your frustration with them. You might not want them to die, but they irritate the shit out of you, so you don't want them around you. My bad. Let me say that again. You might care that you don't want a person to die and you don't want a person to pass away, but they are so irritating that you do not want that person in your presence or to be around you. And now you keep that person away from you, shut that person off, whatever the case may be. And there you go. No love. It's a lack of love. So you're not loving when you do that. But some people like to say, well, I still love you just from a distance. That's toxic. That's a lie. That's gaslighting. That's bold. People literally say this and be really meaning it though in their minds. And people will be like, yeah, you can love a person from a distance. No, you can't. Just leave the person alone and just say that. Like, I just can't deal with you. You know, I one day maybe I could, you know what I'm saying, if I learn how to be loving for real, because the reason why I really can't deal with you is because I don't know how to be patient as I need to be with you. I don't know how to be as understanding as I need to be with you. I don't have the correct knowledge and information and what I need to correct you like I need to, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have what I need to love you, so I have to stay away from you. It's that simple. That's all it is. But people be lying, saying I love you, but I gotta stay away. No, you're lying. You're not a lion. You are lying. You feel me? So going on. Example 2. You can long suffer with someone, but not be faithful. So basically in that part, you can be with somebody for a long time. The whole time you going stepping out with other people. You don't believe in none of these things that they're actually trying to do. You just all right, whatever. Okay, yeah, good job. Hey, correct. You know what I'm saying? But no real enthusiasm behind trying to help the person do whatever they're doing because you don't really have no faith in it. That is dangerous. That is dangerous because you can destroy somebody's whole life by being in their life with no faith for them. That's dangerous. There's a majority of relationships that end and fail for real, are based on this concept right here. People who be in relationships that are full of lack of faith. Woman meets a man, man meets a woman. Either one of them doing great in life. Meet this person, have plans and goals to do whatever the case may be. Now the other person has a lack of faith in what the person's pursuing and goals are and dreams are. And that person don't say it, don't make it clear, don't make it like understood, and just had these hidden feelings and lack of faith towards this person's goals and dreams and stay around this person. And this person literally will never be able to prosper because that lack of faith that's coming from the other person that is being felt, and they don't really know what's happening or what's going on because in their mind, in their heart, they want to believe that this person is really happy for them or really, believe in them or really want them to succeed, but really like irritated with it, tired of it, don't think it's going to happen, ready for you to move on, don't really want to hear about it for real. Like that energy is bad. And there's people suffering from that right now. So, also let me go on. It says, example 3, you can be understanding but lack patience with a person. A person can explain to you something and you understand them completely, but it irritates you that is not what you want and becomes impatient with the person until they adjust to what you want. Meaning that you can basically, somebody can say something and you know what they saying and understand it, but you just don't like their tone of voice. You don't like the way that they articulate themselves. You don't like how long they talk, like I'm talking for a long time. You don't like a lot of things or whatever, and you allow yourself and your energy to shift towards that person, that's a lack of love as well. It's all lack of love. So now it goes on to end. It's almost over. It's right here. It says, now let's go back to something. Long suffering. If a person is abusive, love would be you trying to figure out why. You must be careful though. It could be dangerous to stay and figure that out. Which means this. It means that if a person is abusing you, right, in any way, type of way, man, woman, whoever it is, if a person is abusing you, they're doing it for a reason. Now this is the part that gets dangerous. The reason could be because they have mental health issues and they are very depressed and damaged and close to being schizophrenic. And they don't know how to control their emotions and feelings, and boom, they can mess around and kill you, not even planning on doing it. So that's dangerous. But there's also situations a person like is beating on you because they're like abusive in the mind. They got mental issues. They thought their father grew up beating on their mother and they thought it was normal, or whatever other reasons the case may be. And they think that's how they handle situations with you, and you like being abused. Now, long suffering when it comes to love would be you using your actual patience, understanding, care, and correction to talk to that person, try to figure out a way to get that person help, try to see if that person wants help, and try to understand how to not be a trigger for that person in whatever mental problems that they're suffering from that's causing them to be abusive. That's love. But to go through all that is not what most people want to sign up for. And most people don't sign up for it. They end up finding themselves in those type of situations thinking they're dealing with somebody who's normal. So that's like you can't really catch it unless you really go through it and experience it. You know what I'm saying? Then you realize you have to be more careful in dating and making sure you say, hold on, let me take at least a year or two to really know who this person is really before we decide to have sex, get married, and all these other things. Let me make sure, because if this person is not my actual husband or my actual wife, then I should not be trying to let this person close enough to me to abuse me mentally, physically, or emotionally.
EYE, yeah, King John, new days, man, gotta move forward. I will never change who I am right now. All I'm thinking about is the blessings coming down. Life goes around and around. Right now it's my time, so I'm taking the crown. Boss up, stay quiet. I'm black and I'm proud. We united, started right. If we fall down, keep trying. I will never change who I am right now. All I'm thinking about is the blessings coming down. I will never change. It's been a couple days. Working like a slave. Had to make a change. Man, praying every day. He coming like them lames. Buying all them J's. Well, LeBron's these days. Shout out East Bay. I will never change who I am right now. Trying to get this money. Running from that light. Stressing like a dummy. I've been up all night. No sleep, we not weak. Come back like Rocky. Y'all more like Mr. T. That misery got you mentally fucked up. The sin in me comes out when I pour up that cup. Time to chill out. They bout to sell out for a couple dollars, a little fame at Uncle Phil's house. All your pills sell out. Hit the jail and bail out. Time to chill now. Stay focused, understand that you gotta stand out. They gon' hate, that's okay. Focus on your game, no EA. Eat it up like cheesecake and shit on them like a newborn. I got niggas who will shoot for a king, and ain't no need, cause that grace on me. Call God, she always bless me. Call God, he always correct me. 7 King, my man. I will never change who I am right now. All I'm thinking about is the blessings coming down. Life goes around and around. Right now it's my time, so I'm taking the crown. Boss up, stay quiet. I'm black and I'm proud. We united, started right. If we fall down, keep trying. I will never change who I am right now. All I'm thinking about is the blessings coming down. Before you act, think of why. Don't regret, learn from trying. Praise God, not higher. She love where I can buy it, but she hate when I'm so tired. Finally got into Christ, was sick of working so hard and getting paid like Meyer. No offense at all. I worked in the bakery part. Now I get paid, not bragging. Just blessed I was able to manage to stop sagging and rapping about traffic and which females I'm clapping. Now I'm about that action. Work hard for reactions, no slacking. It's someone watching every second. Don't let them see you sweating. Life is just a lesson that lasts 24/7. We ain't getting to heaven, been sinning forever. Yeah, trying to do better. Spitting straight fire, the devil took off his sweater. It's gonna get better. That EYE open wide, and that light shining bright. I look to the sky at God, and that sun looking so nice. We failed 1,000 times, but still gon' try. And you can pray a lot of times, turn your back on God, and you still gon' die. Grim Reap flow, easy like a free throw, but y'all must be Shaq. Man, way too lax with the status you at. It's time to collect. A matter of fact, I'm giving back no tax. Breaking the traps that say by Satan he whack. And I'm ready to slap, to send out his soul. Gotta think back on why I was put on this road. So cold in this world, no coat, but I'm not froze. Still moving, trying to accomplish my goals. Inherit the flow, but adopted the bones. In that blood that flows, stay flowing with codes. Discovering things no one knows. Pros are cool until they gone. Money comes, then goes. So focus on God as the blessing flows. Stop stressing hoes and feed your mind. Message told, the lessons known. Until you there, you always go. My made, yeah. I will never change who I am right now. Yeah. I will never change. No, I will never change. I will never change who I am right now. All I'm worried about is some blessings coming down. I will never change who I am right now. I will never change. No, I will never change. I will never change. That shit was up.
As I move on to the next part of the podcast, which we've been dragging it, horny people. Horny people. Why can't we all agree on love? Because of horny people. Sex is not making love, for one. People will tell you that, well, love making is, you can make love with a woman, you can love with a man, and love that. Sex is not love making. Sex is, if you want to say sex is love making, the only way you can call sex love making is when you actually have a child and you produce a actual child, which would be love because it's of God and it's of the next generation. Cool. You can say that's creating love, but that's creating a baby. That's not the sex part. The sex part is the actions behind creating the creation. And people take advantage of sex because they think that it's love because they just had sex. So they're actually substituting what real love is for sex. And they saying, I love you because I have sex with you. And when I have sex with you, I make you feel this type of way. So that means that I love you. Because don't this feel good? Don't look, I love you because this feel good right here, right? That's not love. And people will actually depend on those type of concepts to actually, act like, what I'm saying, that they're in love. Like, oh, the sex is good. He does love me, girl. I'm in love. You know what I'm saying? Or, bro, I ain't gonna lie. She, you know what I'm saying? Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never had nobody that, like, tapped in like she do in that type of way. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. Whatever. That's not love. So it's a deception. Do y'all have anything y'all want to add on that?
I just want to say, like, a lot of the things that you're saying is true because, like, I think we gaslight ourselves and we tell ourselves, yeah, I really love him. I really love him. Or, no, he loves me. But I think, yeah, once you identify in yourself what love is and what it's meant to feel like and what you're meant to be giving, I think, I don't know. It's almost like love and truth they kind of intertwined. You have to be like incredibly honest with yourself. Like I was in a situation where I thought this guy loved me and Up until now, I still don't know what he was doing. So if you don't know, then I wouldn't call that love, because you're still not sure what he was doing on his side of the page. So it's like, yeah, I think being honest with yourself is the key, definitely.
No, that's facts, big facts. And I would say this: the next part is philo or lust. Like lust, um, is a very powerful thing because lust feels good. Lust is the actual feelings that we be confusing with love because it's so powerful. Because it makes us do things that we shouldn't do. But the lust is actually the lack of control of our physical flesh and emotions. So that's why it's so powerful, because it's literally like the flesh working, and the flesh is which is in the real reality realm, that's feeling these things that it's feeling. The feeling is all coming from the actual physical realm that we living in, the metaphysical and the actual spiritual concept and realm that we're supposed to connect to God in. That has nothing to do with feelings. That's everything to do with the actual logic and understanding behind all of it, and the actual love concept of everything. So that's why it's important for us to identify love as one thing, because, or not just one thing, but one understanding of love. What is love truly? What is the actual true definition of love? You know what I'm saying? We need to have one so that we can stand on. You feel me? Love is agape. Agape is a word that we should use more to identify love. Like some people have started to do. They say agape love. You can say that, you know what I'm saying, because that's what real love is. But we need to make it to where this is the only concept of love. So agape needs to become the actual representative of love altogether. You know what I'm saying? So what you think about that? Look,
I think, like from a young age, growing up in a church, witnessing paedophilia, and racism and stuff like that, I started searching, and I started asking, like, people from the Rastafarian community and stuff like that, what is love? Because the love that I was taught was sex. And they were like, yeah, the holy water is all this. I don't want to get too graphic anyway. But I was taught about agape love. And agape love was, it made me feel like, even if I've made mistakes, even if I fall down and bump my head, even if I take my eye off God and it's like I have to find my way back to Him again, He's still there. It's just one love, and it doesn't ever change. It's not like, oh, you know what, I'm not talking to you no more, it's just, I'm still here, and reaching that stage of like a nirvana, of love is, to me, that's my whole purpose on being here and being able to generate that around me. And, I have learned something today. I've learned that, I have to be honest with myself. There's some people that I care about, but I don't love. I've fallen out of love. But then at the same time, if I had loved them in the beginning, if it was real love, why would that be conditional? Why has it changed? So, that's the question mark that I have at the moment. But yeah, I'm not sure if I was clear about that, but that's what I'm saying.
I would say, according to the Bible, what true love is. No, I think they can love incorrectly. Sorry, I'm driving, so this sounds choppy. Um, but according to what the scripture says, and perfecting love and loving the Most High above all, you know, if you're not put, if you don't love God, then how can you love others? You know, how can you love your brother? How can you love yourself? That's my opinion.
100. So I agree. I do agree. And I think a lot of atheists, though, like the fact that they're in denial is what makes it hard for them to believe. Because I mean, to love, to love, like their lack of belief in itself, in that alone is a lack of love, because they have to recognize that they are greater than whatever they are. They think they are. Like they think that they are a piece of trash that grew into a human being, or whatever they think they are. Like, you know what I'm saying? And not actually, maybe some dirt that was put together, but embodied with the spirit of the Most High God. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy that they don't want to accept that, but they want to accept that they were actually like like a fish that, which is just like, even it's the same thing, like that just has no meaning though when it comes to their like breakdown. Like they have no meaning for life if they think that everything was created just as a random situation that ended up occurring one day. So I agree with you, Jess. Brother Dan, you came off the mic. Did you want to respond to that question?
Yeah. Normally, when I be talking to people that don't believe in the scriptures or God, I always ask them, do they believe in marriage? Because marriage is ordained from God. That's His covenant. So, I mean, far as my understanding, is God's covenant. That's He ordained it. Marriage between man and woman, right? So, when they answer the question and say, "Yeah, I believe it," then I know they confused. So to me, it's no longer, I don't have to further the discussion no more because I know they confused. Like my argument is ended at that point. Or, trying to get them to understand, what God is and all that kind of stuff. It's no need for me to go no further because they confused. So,
Okay, 100, and that's facts though. That is facts. And the next part of it is like, love is God. Like, identifying God as love is the only way you can really, understand love, because love is God. So if you don't believe in God, there's no way you can believe in love. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's important to understand love, because love, to be truly follow those 7 concepts that I've named, you have to really be of God, because it's really like you have to learn these things. You have to learn how to love for real. That's the crazy part about it. People think that you can just love because of whatever. Like they think children love. Children don't love. Children literally just be on the planet, just enjoying life. They in a blissful state, in the ignorant state. So they're not really even caring about a lot of this stuff. And people a lot of times will end up hurting their own feelings, thinking that their kids care about things that they do not care about at all. And parents do that thing we were talking about earlier, emotional projection. Emotional projection is a real big thing when it comes to parents, because parents will project how they want their kids to feel onto the kids by mentioning things and putting things in the child's view sight that the kid can see and notice, but is not looking at it in the manner that the parent is projecting it. That's what emotional projection is. So that's what continues to happen, and that's a lack of love on the parents' part, and they're not showing their child actually how to love, because love believeth all. If that's because that's in the Bible. If love believeth all, then you're supposed to teach your kids how to be able to pay attention to the belief system and what belief is, and recognizing things for what it is, and not projecting how you want them to look at it. Always give them the actual realistic, like positive, godly, righteous way of looking at it. Never the way that you want to look at it, because you and your feelings about whatever it is. They fail in they fail and scrape their leg, or they fail and bump their head or something like that. Oh my God, oh, that's terrible. Get up. No, my goodness, baby, no. Like, that's terrible. That's not the reality. They gonna be okay. That's the deep part about it. Like, again, reactions are everything. I understand, but we can't do nothing about certain things unless we use our brain. And if we let our brain stop functioning because we panicking, then what can we do? Nothing. And if there's nothing to do, then it's no reason to panic anyway. So you need to be trying to figure out what you can do instead of panicking every time. And if there's nothing to do, then you understand that there's no reason to panic and there's nothing that I can do. Boom, boom, boom.
Help you make a living. She used to hold me about my money. Now she a popular stripper. Slid down a couple times just so I could tip her. And yes, they go always remember when you up and when you down. Just make sure you can look in that mirror. King John. I gotta stay focused every day of my life. I hope that they notice when I finally get right. It ain't hard to see cause that light stay bright. I'm focused, yeah. I gotta stay focused every day of my life. I hope that they notice when I finally get right. Ain't hard to notice cause that light stay bright.
We're going to talk about really quick. The last part is, why is love hard? So as we wrap up the podcast and get to this last part, why is love hard is because people don't recognize that love is not common. There's barely nobody on this earth that actually practices love. Some people don't even know what love is so to practice it. And it's not a whole bunch of different things. And we actually had a real conversation where this room was flooded and I was able to get all people from around the world to come into this space. And I tried to get them to accept the 7 concepts that I'm speaking of as love. They will all want to push back because they will have to all realize that they are wrong about what they think love is this whole time. Some of them would agree. Some people are humble and know that they have not been loving, and that's why they might be single. And they're like, I don't fuck love. I don't care about love. Like some people are like that, and they're open to like understanding what love is because they said they done gave up on it. They're like, I don't know what this is. You know what I'm saying? So let's figure it out. So some people got that mindset. Those are the healthy people. But you got the people that literally are just, they're stuck in their own understanding of love because they the ones that walk away from love all the time when they get hard. And they want you to think that love is that. That's not love. That's actually the mark of the beast, to choose to take Satan's desires over love, of the love of God. Satan's desires want you to go after all the things that make you feel good. So anytime you're not feeling good, you should be recognizing that means that you need to be trying to do something better. Because God is like working through you, and Satan is trying to work against you. So God is trying to show you something, and it might be painful, frustrating, or whatever, figuring it out. But when you actually try to go away from that feeling and go against it, then that means that you are running away from God. And you go find yourself back in that same position again because you go be like, well, you didn't learn your lesson. You didn't know what God was trying to tell you the first time. And that becomes a big issue. That's why loving God is the most important thing, because if you don't know God, then you can't love God. Diligently seeking God like requires you to truly learn who God is. And you can't even know who God is if you don't know God's name. And then that's a big thing. We'll get into that in another room, but the concept of the name of God, which is love, but people don't even know that. Because honestly, it's agape. And honestly, it's not even agape. It's literally patience, understanding, care, correction, long-suffering, faithfulness, and loyalty at all times simultaneously. And it technically is not even that. It's just you being love and you embodying the governing laws of God. You embodying the kingdom. And it technically is not even that. Technically, it's God, because God is that. And I am going to be doing the next room. The podcast is going to be called Women Love Stupid Males. I'm crying. Maybe I'm included in that list, maybe. I'm just trying to figure it out. We're going to be talking about it, but we're going to talk about toxic femininity. We're going to talk about insecurities of men. We're going to talk about being victims. We're going to talk about female attention is dangerous. We're going to talk about looks, lust, feelings of being alone, others' opinion. We're going to talk about intelligent men, honest, God-fearing, and we're going to talk about boys to men. So we're going to tap into that. So be looking forward to that, and I appreciate everybody. This is Mom Made Radio. Y'all have a good night.
I'm in a whole nother world, nowhere to go. Trying to make it out, time moving slow. Ain't no lights, it's so dark. Afterlife, time go come. So do it right, shine that light. Afterlife, whole nother world, nowhere to go. Trying to make it out, time moving slow. Dark place, only light is me. Light of a king, I hear a guy say you not in a dream. You in hell, but it's not what it seems. You had the power to create your life when you leave, but only through the things you believe when you had a chance to breathe. So I close my eyes to think about the things that I seen. A lot of messed up fiends, girls being used, and a lot of them abused. Kids dropping out of school, selling the same drugs they use. Wars on the news, all this going on, I still believe in you. I love you, Lord. I pray you love me too, but I already know you do. So this place I'm in, I know it comes from truth. I'm in a whole nother world, nowhere to go. Trying to make it out, time moving slow. Ain't no lights, it's so dark. Afterlife, time go come. So do it right, shine that light. time moving slow. Before I die, I wanna tell every person I love them. I've been a child of God since I came out my mama. A God I wasn't till I lost my father and my cousin. Woke me up quick like a fire alarm buzzing. God, man, my life I was loving. If I messed up, hell hot like an oven, I ain't touching. He a thug, but he bluffing without a gun, boy, you nothing. See a gun, get to running like an egg, no be muffin. But he work at Mickey D's, and he hope to shoot some D's with the local high school teams. With that fresh allowance sitting in they jeans. Only one way to heaven, but a lot of ways to hell. So take the narrow road, try to save your soul. Why steady getting old, but remember, it can never be so. Keep your head up and your enemy close. Stay true to God and stay away from them clones. If the devil get close, give him some holes through his chest with the source of success. I'm in a whole nother world, nowhere to go. Trying to make it out, time moving slow. Ain't no lights, it's so dark. Afterlife, time go come. So do it right, shine that light. Afterlife, whole nother world, nowhere to go. Trying to make it out, time moving slow.